Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. We're going to be doing a Red Wing video today. I feel it's something we could talk about fully with the goaltending situation the Red Wings have with Husso being hurt right now, Linen playing pretty good, and Reimer being so right now. I feel like it's something we can talk about and figure out where the best direction for these goalies might be.
Well, I mean, clearly, right at the moment, I think it's fairly easy to say that Alex Lyon is the goalie for this team. How long is Huzo out for?
I have no idea how long he is still injured. I don't even know what he's hurt with. I just found out he was hurt because
at the moment he could stay hurt.
So if you go look at each goalie's stats, Husso has started 18 games for us. He has 9 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses with a 3.353 goals against average. He also has a 893 save percentage, which absolutely sucks. 59 goals against and 549 shots against so far this year. So, I mean, it's not like he's played terrible, but that save percentage is not the greatest.
No, he hasn't. He's been average. I mean, he hasn't been awful, but I mean, like I said, we've had to score 4 goals at least to win any game he's in. He gives up a ton of goals, and the Wings give up a ton of shots. So I guess they go along together.
Yeah, with Linen being next on the list with games played, he has played 14 games. He's obviously been our best goalie so far this year. 9 wins, 4 losses, 1 OT loss with a 2.58 goals against. He has a 922 save percentage. He has had 343 shots on him, giving up 34 goals so far this year. So a couple games less and about 100 shots less than what Husso's been getting. But he's also been playing pretty good. He also has 2 shootout wins. I believe he's won twice in the shootout.
Yeah, Lyon has clearly been the best goaltender on our team this year so far. I think they're going to do something eventually and get rid of one of these goaltenders. Reimer played really well the other night. I mean, he's a good backup. And then we got 2 guys down on the farm, with Augustine and
Augustine's in college, and you got Kosa coming up.
So, I mean, they got decisions to make as far as the goaltending goes. And right now, like I said, it's obvious. I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't say that Alex Lyon is not the starter.
And you got your third with Reimer having started 13 games, has 4 wins, 6 losses, 2 OT losses, and roughly kind of around the same stat line as Husso has had with a 330 goals against average. And then he has a 893 save percentage through 370 for 373 shots. He also has 4 penalty minutes. I don't know where he got those from. And also, right, same kind of details in the shootout. We've been very good in the shootout this year also, which is a rare thing for the Red Wings to be. We've always sucked in a shootout, and for some reason, we are doing pretty good this year. And I don't know if they attest to the goalies actually having time and showing that it's not a goaltender problem.
Well, I don't know who it is, but I would have to say every time I've seen Patrick Kane take a shootout shot, he's scored.
Yes, he has.
So that might have something to do with it.
Then you have your other guy who we have in the minors right now in Hutchinson, who started a game and lost his said game. But I think that was a close game because he didn't play 3 minutes of it. But I think it is kind of obvious to say Linen does deserve more starts. Right, when he started the year, didn't even play the first few weeks of the year. He sat the bench.
Well, right. I mean, last year he almost took Florida to the Cup, but was replaced by Bobrovsky, who was a very good goaltender. And I think this year he's, building on that and with us, and has shown that, he's every bit as good as anything we got, if not better, and could get better. How old is he?
Alex Linen, he is 31 years old.
Alex Lyon is 31?
Yes, he is from Minnesota.
Oh, well, he's not a few. You mean you might get a couple more years.
Husso is 28. And then, of course, our old guy, Reimer, is 35.
Then we got Augustine coming up.
Augustine, who won the championship. And we'll get more into an Augustine Costa thing in another video. But with the three we got going on right now, do we think that we should trade one of our three and potentially even try to improve at goaltending and or try to trade for a defenseman? I saw one article saying we should try to trade Husso and a pick to Anaheim and go get John Gibson, which would vastly
improve. He's an older goaltender, though, too, isn't he?
He's about the same age as Husso, I think. In between Husso and Leinen. I mean, that would improve your goaltending for the year at least, or a couple of years. Between Gibson and Leinen, that would be a good tandem. You probably would have to do Husso and a pick. Likely is what you would have to do for that. Or you give up one of the prospects you're not using because you got Casper, you got Berggren you're not using. You got so many young guys coming up.
I would think you'd want to get them.
And it seems like Berggren's going to be the guy who probably is going to be out if they're going to trade anyone. And you could do that too. You could try to trade one of the goalies and keep the other one and try to do. They could do one deal for Husso to get Gibson and another deal for Reimer. They go try and get a defenseman in just that pack. Try to find somebody who's struggling, give them a goalie on top of try to get the pick.
Right. The defense has been a little better lately. The last week for sure. See what goes on. Like I said, we're in the last playoff spot. I don't want to give up Patrick Kane. Everyone's talking about that. And so with these goalies, we got to figure out what can we do to maybe acquire.
I think one of these
player that'll help us get to the playoffs.
One of these goalies is going to be gone at the trade deadline, and we'll get more to a trade deadline talk as it gets closer. But I think one of them is going to end up being traded, and I don't think it's going to be Leinen who's going to get traded just because he's been the best out of all of them.
Right. I think people would revolt.
I feel like you're going to end up having a Leinen-Reimer duo. Husso, because he's the better goalie and is younger than Reimer, is likely going to be out in a trade somewhere.
Package with Berggren, you said?
Maybe with Berggren, because Berggren, they won't use him. They don't call him up.
I don't get it.
And most of us like Berggren, but they won't call him up, so he might be gone. There might not be room for him in the future. But I think Husso might be out by the trade deadline if we're trying to figure out a goaltending situation and to improve. And that's also if we're buyers at the trade deadline instead of sellers. If you're sellers, something else might happen. But I don't think we're going to be sellers this year. I think we're going to be buyers.
I hope we're buyers.
I think you're going to see a Leinen-Reimer tandem for the rest of the year.
Well, if we're buyers, we need toughness, defense, and like I said, if you can get a better goaltender, I guess.
Who's the one that you're cutting?
What do you mean, trading?
Yeah, who's the one you're trading? You're three.
Well, Berggren and
goalie-wise. We're on goalie talk.
I would say Husso's the smart one.
Husso would be
the one you could get the most value for.
Yes,
and Berggren and maybe a defenseman for a better defenseman or maybe an upgrade. Who knows?
If somehow you can keep Leinen and Husso as your goalie tandem, I think we'd be happy with that. But I don't. If you're trying to get more bang for your buck, you're going to have to trade Husso out and move on from that. Because even though I don't think Husso's a bad goalie, I think he is probably the one that's more valuable in the long run to trade off. If Leinen continues playing as good as he is. Because with Husso, I don't fully know how the injury necessarily is going. He had a lower body injury, and as of 6 days ago, he was skating, but hasn't regained full maneuverability as of 6 days ago. No updates since then. He's on IR.
According to them.
That's on Husso.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not Kane.
Kane!
You just
my mind's on Kane, I guess.
That is on Husso.
Husso, who cares? Husso, stay away.
He's still on IR.
Unless he's going to get us a good player, I could care less if he takes the ice again. He sucks!
Yes, he hasn't been that bad this year. But, I mean, if you want a quick Kane update to end the video out, where is Patrick Kane at? Where is he?
Yeah, I mean, what's the update on Patrick Kane?
As of 5 hours ago, he won't play Wednesday against Florida or Friday against Carolina.
Right. I heard he's coming back Sunday.
Expect to learn more about the veterans winger's injury when the team returns to Detroit ahead of Sunday's game versus Tampa.
We're playing Tampa in hockey and football.
And it's going to be a crazy week with both of them playing at the same time. But that's of 5 hours ago, so they're still not disclosing necessarily what the injury is besides it's a lower body injury. I have heard it's not the hip, which is something that we're happy about. But we also are concerned, right? He is older. He is 35, and coming off the hip surgery is not necessarily the best thing to get hurt with a lower body injury, regardless.
Probably not, but he looked good walking off. I mean, he didn't look like it was like devastating.
He has 7 goals and 9 assists so far this year.
Suck it up. Get out there.
And that is through so far playing 19 games. He has 16 points. So he's been almost averaging a point per game, which is pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, Patrick Kane's been amazing. And we were starting to win with him this last week. And it was good to see that we beat Toronto without him for the most part. And I know we can win without him. I know we don't have to have Patrick, but if we could get him going and winning with this lineup, I think it takes it to a different level. And like I said, it's been a strange year. Nothing worked out the way we thought. We thought Buffalo and Ottawa would be really good teams this year, and they're not. They suck.
They're not. They are not. They're at the bottom of our division like they always are.
And we're actually doing a slight bit better than we were last year.
And that's another thing we'll get into right into the All-Star break too, is kind of where the Red Wings are at and what they need to do for the rest of the year.
When's the NHL?
Beginning of February.
Man,
so we got a week and a half out until that. But
pointless.
For the fans, it's fun.
For the fans,
but we'll get more into what we think the Wings have to do for the rest of the year. Especially as
gives us an opportunity to get healthy. I guess.
As football season dies down, expect more hockey videos to be out because I got to fill up with somehow. So hockey will be more prevalent on the channel compared to football.
And we'll be talking this to bad.
We will not be talking this to bad. We'll get one video.
And if the Lions take it to the Super Bowl, we'll be almost to spring training.
We also Tiger baseball will be back the second they actually do something too. Because they don't know how to do anything to make themselves interesting enough for a video to talk about.
Which isn't necessarily bad. I kind of like the way the Tigers are set.
Well, we will talk about the Tigers in a future video whenever I decide the Tigers are relevant enough to talk about. Because they haven't done a single thing. Probably around spring training time is when we'll start talking Tigers again. Hopefully. But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Which goalie should we keep? Share the video around. Until next time, hope to see everybody soon.